In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
About okay, well, let's get an intro in, I guess. Welcome back to another pointless automotive podcast. Chadwick and Frank with you again.
I think we have a fun one today.
I think it's going to be super. Well, who knows? Could be terribly unfun.
Could be.
No,
well, I don't know.
It'll be fun.
This one I think is going to be really fun for both you and I because we're each harboring secrets.
So yeah. So in case you didn't tune in the last few weeks, it's Miller Lite time. I need to hydrate.
Oh boy, yeah.
Cheers.
Salute.
So, guys, we talked about cars we're going to bring on the next DWA rally, and in my usual nonsensical self, I said, "Hey, Frank, let's set ourselves a highly restrictive budget that we're probably going to DNF. We're not going to finish this thing, but we might. I think we might. We'll find out. We'll have a higher percentage of knowing after this. But I said, hey, let's set it at 3,500. That includes purchase price. That includes maintenance because there's going to be a lot of that, probably almost as much as the purchase price. And then if you have money left over for fun things like rally stuff, like I don't know, modifications and maybe some cosmetic tweaks,
Brakes. Who knows?
Yeah, fucking brakes, dude. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have, like Frank alluded to, been really good at keeping it secret because I have no idea. He just got something. I got something as I revealed the other time. I have not given him a hint except for the fact that
someone
tweaker
lived
cut
in
the
it.
seat out.
You told me someone was living in it. That's all I know.
So it has seats.
And I know Miata is always the answer, but that makes it seem like it's probably not a Miata.
Ooh.
And I've spilled zero beans to you, really to anyone. I've been very tight-lipped. And for me, it's been a recent development. You picked something up before I did. I just picked something up, and I haven't even picked it up. It actually has not come home yet. But we've made our picks in the shitbox fantasy draft.
Is it a fantasy?
You guys, and nightmare draft, and you, our dear friends and listeners, get to ride along as we reveal not just to y'alls but to each other.
Yep.
What profoundly poor choices that we've made. And we've got 4-ish months to be able to get something put together for a rally location and date to be named with the TWA homies.
Sure. If this was one of those restoration shows where they show up to your house and flip your car in 3 days, that sounds like a lot of time, but we don't have the full-time ability to just flip these cars. And chances are these are probably pretty comparable to those cars that have been sitting in someone's garage for like 30 years in a state of disuse. Because I know mine needs a lot of work, and we should probably stop dancing around it. Frank, did you?
I'll hint that mine is cosmetically totaled.
Fantastic. Mine smells like maybe this will be revealing too much, but if you went to a Cypress Hill concert and everybody in the audience at once dumped their bong water into the car, that's exactly what I've got going on. I've had my windows down for 2 weeks. To
keep the teas going, me and some mostly me. But me and I'll drag some friends into this too to make me sound like less of a weirdo, which is a hard pill to swallow. Somehow over several beers came up with the idea of selling like tall cans of literal bong water. Like you need to buy bong water for like the extreme stoner that like wants that ultimate stony beverage on the go.
Yeah.
And they can't, they want that fresh hit of bong water, or maybe it's like pre-seasoned. You pour it into your bong.
Oh, okay.
Right. There's a couple. All the possible uses for deeply used canned bong water.
He's got multiple angles. Did you want to reveal first? Did you want to show me what you got, or should I go first?
I can. And what I'll do is I have a couple of very bad photos that I took of it parked in front of the street where it's been parked for the last, I don't know.
Oh my,
10 years or so.
So
I'm going to text you a photo of it.
Listeners, here's a benefit. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and check it out, because I'm going to put some actually good photos up on the screen, potentially. Maybe not good, but better than what we're going to show with our cell phones. But
all right, you're getting a text message as we speak.
I thought you were going to actually hold your phone up in front of the screen.
No, it's coming your way. It's coming your way. I want the.
I don't even want to open this. I'm so excited, dude. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I showed my wife this car
Yeah.
And I said, Frank is going to get this because it's fucking orange. It
Yes,
is.
competition orange, my
Yep.
friend.
This is an SVT. Is it worth it's an
Focus.
SVT Focus.
Yeah.
But from the photos, it said it was bad cosmetically, and it didn't look that bad. Was it worse in real life?
Um, it's
Oh,
kind of as I expected. So
hell yeah,
yes.
dude.
So let me run everyone through it. My selection, my first round draft pick, if you will, in the shipbox fantasy draft, nightmare draft, a 2004 Ford Focus ZX5 SVT in
Awesome.
very faded competition orange.
Hmm.
You can see it like where it's been street parked forever. Um, it's a very narrow street in Berkeley, and I'll get into that. There's actually some story behind that too, as it turns out. But street parked Berkeley, very, very narrow streets in the hills of Berkeley. And you can see like in person anyways, maybe not in the photos I sent you, that like where it was street parked was like half shade and half not because it's like splotchy faded. It's almost like
Yes.
tiger striped. The rear bumper's really bad, like all the clear coats off it. Same with the rear spoiler. Dent on the driver's fender and quarter because just the garbage truck and stuff hits it on this little narrow street like once a month. However,
He's already getting into the issues. This was just the review. He's already
yes,
he's already spoiling
136,000 miles.
Okay, wow,
6-speed manual. Check engine light. We'll get into that later. It is as I said, competition orange, and all as it turns out, all of these Focus SVTs in that color for 2004, the last year, all had the upgrade, the one package everyone wanted, which was the European appearance package.
That's
So you
right.
got the leather Recaros, you got the 15 spoke alloy wheels, you got HIDs, and it's got it's option to the gills because it has this factory subwoofer, factory heated seats, factory moonroof, and yeah, it runs and it drives.
Okay.
And I picked it up for the princely sum of $2,000.
Wow.
So I'll let you say your party piece first, and then we can get into the stories of you hauling a corpse out of yours, and the story that turned out there was a little bit of a story and a tie in to the pod, believe it or not.
Oh,
In my purchase story, unbeknownst to me until I was there having conversation with the gentleman. With that in mind, what the hell did you get, my friend? What was our tweaker?
I got to do a gut reaction. I'm so pumped you got this car. I love SVT Focuses. I've spent a little time in them, and
never
I think
driven
they're
one.
absolute gems. Oh, dude, they're so good. They're so good. It was the first like actual spicy Euro hot hatch we got in the States from Ford, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, S-Car GTs are fucking cool. Don't get me wrong, but
XR4 Ti,
uh, maybe. I don't know if it's a hot hatch. I don't know if it gets
rear
there.
drive, it gets complicated. Yeah.
But no, great car, great color. Dude, I want to drive this. I'm sending you some photos now, Frank, if you want to check your text messages.
Oh no. Let's see. Oh, I got the little dots.
Ooh.
The dots are dotting. Crossing T's and dotting I's.
The suspense is killing everyone.
Volvo V70.
Nope. A little smaller.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. 50. V50.
Yes.
V50. Oh, yep. The more are coming in T5. You get to row your own. It's a manual.
Yes. M66
Wow.
trans out of the S60 and V70.
And you snuck this thing under budget.
Yeah.
300,000 miles and a homeless man in it, or what's the deal?
So you're halfway right. So yes, it is a V50 05, so early.
Okay.
V50 T5 all-wheel drive manual, which is like the unicorn of unicorns to get in one of these. 188,000 miles. So that's part of the fun. Did have a tweaker. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. Totally. Someone tells you they cut a seat out of a car. Like, whatever.
Maybe cut.
Yeah, exactly. Or I cut the electrical going to a seat to remove it. And you're like, well, that's probably like maybe a airbag sensor light at most. Maybe like one of those fasten your seatbelt sensor lights from the early cars. Nope. Yep. This is Volvo, my friend. You cut these wires and there's like 30 something of them.
Rigs the car.
Just with a knife. And it's airbag. It's an airbag seat.
Oh, it cuts like a knife.
Yeah, dude. So the airbag, the seat warmer, and all the electric adjustments. So there's a lot of wiring. And cut the seatbelt because these have the seatbelt on the side, like Volvo style at the time. So you got to buy a whole new seatbelt assembly. It's thank God he had the seat though. So I saved some time there. A couple other issues. Wasn't smogged. So that's
Mhm.
my always like, hey, happy red
Yep.
flag. I can take some money off. What else? What else? Other than the Cypress Hill references from earlier, this guy like hotboxed this thing at least 20 times a day. Uh,
Sick.
qu- I don't want to reveal all the mods yet because it has tweaker mods too, and I'll get
Ooh,
into that with
tweaker
my friend.
mods.
Yeah, like cables that go from cigarette 12-volt plugins that go outside the car and underneath. But we'll get to that. Well, yeah, wait for
Okay.
this. So I got a deal. The paint is fine. The hood's
Yeah, it looks all
faded a
right.
little bit. I'll bring it all the way back. It's got the 16-inch wheels. It has like newer tires on it, all seasons,
Mhm.
like 700 grip. I obviously need to get rid of those. I went around a corner at somewhat spirited driving and it just screamed like it wanted to die. So
So you're saying she when you're done with her, she'll have that gorilla grip? Is
she'll
what
have
you're
that,
saying?
yeah, that
Fantastic.
wonderful,
Hmm.
wonderful grip. And what else is really wrong with it? I mean, just not passing smog, seat cut out, which is going to be a hell of a repair. Um,
Yeah.
Interesting
Full
wires,
interior harness.
wires hanging out, all kinds of wires everywhere.
Is that
Actually, I'm
CAN
going to tell you the
bus?
truth.
Is that car
Uh,
CAN bus?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
2005. No.
I don't
Um,
know.
who knows? We'll figure it out. It's gonna be a lot of soldering. It's gonna be done, I'm sure. Well, but anyway, yeah, paint's pretty good. Interior's okay. The leather's kind of crackly and shitty. It's not blown
I mean,
out. Like,
all things considered, what that interior's been
yeah.
through.
So I shot the pictures to you. Like the seats are fine. There's no tears or anything. It's just like Volvo leather from the 2005s that have been fucking Billy Bong Thorntoned. Uh,
So was that guy just like kind of living in it and just like was he just like busting ropes into like the carpet in the back or like what?
Dude, I have so many questions. At
Cool.
one point, somebody did the headliner over. It's not the best job, but whatever. It's so everything
Tight.
works, dude. So, spoiler alert, I did get it past smog. Perfect. No issues, no check engine light,
Sweet.
no
Okay.
codes. It's already, I already did the title transfer. So everything's cool on the car. It's clean title. Just the mileage is kind of high. Time about water pump done 13,000 miles ago.
Damn. Who'd have
So
who'd have saw that coming?
yeah, who saw that? So the car was listed for 36 since you revealed your price of 2 G's.
Mhm.
3,600. He marked it down to 29. I went and checked it out. I'm like, dude, it's just I have to like the seat is still a question mark, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
no one wanted to buy it. He only listed it like 2 days ago. A bunch of people saw it and were like, I'm not fucking with that seat, right? Because the airbag
Yeah.
lights on, all that kind of
Right.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I go, dude, I want to be around 2. And he goes, can you do 21? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And he's like, wait, can I keep the sub in the back? I'll take it down to 2050. And I'm like, yeah, keep your Amazon subwoofer. He fucking cuts it. This Mr. Blade always got a blade
Damn.
ready. He cuts it with power still going to the sub and fucking sparks shoot everywhere. And I'm like, yes, this is what I love. And he's like, okay, it's cool. 2050, it's yours. And we went and got it, and that's it. I've been driving
Okay.
it. So we're real close on
And
price.
it drives all right.
It drives
Like it needs tires.
it drives like it needs tires. He just did the brakes not too long ago. They were pretty good.
Okay.
It drives real good. Turbo
Damn.
pulls real good. But yeah,
Wow. What a
Yes,
find.
sir.
Like what a
Period to find one of
potential
these.
nightmare, right? Like
could
you
be.
could all of a sudden like oops, it turns out like I don't know. It'll have some weird, you have to shut it off and restart it every 30 minutes because of the the electrical gremlins from the harness getting hack job. I don't know.
Dude, I love these P1s. Like this is my third one. These P1 Volvo cars because I've had
Yeah.
the S40 manual T5. I've had
They're cool.
what was the other one? C30
C30,
Artisan.
C30.
Yeah. So now I got the other unicorn, the super unicorn.
Yeah, that's maybe my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah.
What a cool thing. And that should be
Dude.
a good rally runner. It might be a little softer on the edges.
So
Unless you got-
there are
unless you
some
got mod
mods.
money on the back
There are
end.
some mods, and I do have some
Oh.
mods. I've already got all my parts like ordered,
Damn.
so I can
Damn.
I could get into that. But dude, we scored 2 very cool cars, like
Mhm.
insanely cool cars.
Yeah, both 5 doors with a hatch,
Mm-hmm.
a hatchy back.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. Well, if you saw the ad for mine, then you probably saw some of the gremlins, and I don't know if you remember them.
I remember
but,
the paint being a thing, and then there was something about. I do want to believe there was a smog reference in there, or was there not?
Yes.
Okay.
So the things that need corrective action are as follows: paint, don't care. Tires. The front tires are like past the wear bars.
Ooh.
The rears are okay. They're just old. They're good tires. They're Continental extreme contact,
Oh,
whatever's.
those are good. Yeah.
It needs, so the driver's side axle boot is wasted. It's gone.
Got
All
it.
the grease is slung out, and he was upfront about that. That was listed in his stuff.
Cool. Most people
Um,
don't even mention that.
yeah,
That's a good
there's
sign.
that. Yeah, the it's got a check engine light for downstream O2,
Mm,
which he was saying, and I guess, and I looked, and sure as shit, like it's hyper common that these things just eat up O2 sensors,
got
and
it.
they're very persnickety about them, and B, the exhaust, because it's got basically has headers from the factory.
Hmm.
Um, they hang low, and so
I can relate.
you right, and so you can, and people do, like, you kind of ding the bottom, the bottom collector, and what it does is it ends up, there's almost no clearance between that downstream O2 sensor and the axle shaft on that driver side.
Mm,
And so it kind of pushes it into it, and it kills O2 sensors.
got
So
it.
it needs an O2 sensor, it needs an axle. The windshield has a pretty healthy crack in it.
Mm.
And he said it leaks. So during the winter, he puts like tape at the top of the windshield.
Oh, okay.
It didn't smell gross inside, so he did a good job keeping moisture out of it. But it needs a windshield.
Hmm.
I could probably get away without doing the windshield for the sake of the rally, but I'm going to try and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's mostly it as far as dire needs.
Damn.
Drove it a couple of miles around Berkeley. Runs really strong, fires right up. He had done what he thought was when the oxygen sensor contacted the axle. He was like, "Oh, these cars are notorious for eating motor mounts." So he did all the motor mounts. It's got all brand new motor and transmission mounts, which are a pain in the ass on these cars. And it didn't correct it. And that's when he's just like, I'm done. He's had the car for about 11 years. He bought it down in Southern California. Timing belt and water pump was done 55,000 miles ago.
Okay.
But roughly 10 years ago.
Mm.
So it's not due by mileage. It's right about due on time.
Got it.
And apparently they're kind of a pain on these cars. They're very, very particular. There's special tools you need to use. There's like a little key that you put into the block that goes into a little keyway on the crank to hold the crank in position, and some other stuff. So I don't know. That's going to be a game time decision. I'll put it.
That's rolling the dice, right?
Yeah. But otherwise, interior's pretty nice. Like, air conditioning blows colder on the passenger side than the driver side. So I think there's a mild blend door issue.
Okay.
Not too worried about that.
That's very Ford.
It needs one rear window regulator. Not super worried about that. But it fires right up. It drives pretty well. The miles are good. I think tires and the mechanical bits and pieces, I'll when I'm doing the axle, I'll get a good look at the brakes. But it's a Ford Focus. A lot of these parts are not expensive.
Right.
A lot of them are SVT specific, but they are available. But it's very cool. I'm very excited about it because I think it's going to be a lot of fun for a rally, especially on good, if I can afford good tires, maybe Mucho Machos. We'll see. Yeah, I think it could be almost.
Our
it almost
cars are on the
good.
same. We're on the same platform, dude. Because
Right,
the Focus, Mazda 3, and the Volvo, like P1 cars, were all built in the same kind of setup. A lot of Ford in both of our cars too.
Yeah, mine's 04, yours is 05.
Yep.
And yeah, look at the conclusions we've come to.
Well, that's pretty cool. Full circle.
So I know you mentioned, I did want to mention, because you mentioned your meth head. My guy was absolutely not a meth head. He was
nice.
And I can tell by for initial emails exchanges, like, oh, this is a guy I want to buy a car from, because he was very forthright. Because I just, hey, I'd like to come out and see it. He's like, okay, cool. By the way, this is when the timing belt was unsolicited. He's like, this is when the timing belt was done. I think it needs a blend door, as I've just discovered.
Cool.
But yeah, I'd love to show it. So went on out, saw it, and so I was talking, and as you mentioned, right, you were like negotiating on the price. So did all the things, and I was like, hey, like, full disclosure, this is what I've got in mind. Me and a friend, we're making poor life choices. We're going on this rally, $3,500 budget. And so he's, oh yeah, this could be perfect for that. I'm like, yeah, exactly. We're talking about it. And I was like, yeah, like, this feels like for me, it's almost too competent of a car.
Right.
because it's just like I brought a Chrysler Crossfire, and I brought an '84 Supra that had been sitting for 10 years, and I brought the last one I went, I took this um, Chevy Sprint Turbo, and he's like, he's like, I know what that is. He's like, what color is it? White? I was like, yeah, that's exactly, yeah, it's a white one. And he's like, oh yeah, there's a guy who lives in my neighborhood who I'm friends with. His name is Rob Epley, and he has one of those. I was like, that's my car. I bought that off of Robert. He's like, no way. And so we were talking about it, and he's like, yeah, I know that car. I thought it was really cool. My wife thought it was crazy that I thought it was cool. I was like, yeah, that's in my driveway right freaking now. And so we were talking, and he's like, yeah, like, he's like, my next door neighbor is Robert, and Robert Epley, friend of the pod. He was one of our very first guests that we had on the pod. Sure enough, his V70R is parked right there. I'm like, oh shit. So I sent him a picture of his car that I'm stalking him. And so, yeah, so it's
Dude,
like,
that's awesome.
And because of that, he was asking 2,500, which was a very fair price.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, like, I think the pricing's fair. But he's like, I like what you're doing, what you're going to do with it. Like, I think that's really cool. I'd love to see how it turns out and keep me posted on it. And it's like, kind of staying in the family as far as he's concerned, because it's like, it's all the same car people. And so he's like, yeah, like, this is, this will be really fun. I'll do, because he's like, what do you need to be at? So it's like, I think in order for me to get good tires on it, it's going to be $600 to $700.
Yep, for sure.
Rock Auto parts for the other stuff, maybe plug wire, some basic tune-up shit. Let's say there's another $500. I was just like, you add it all up, having to do a windshield. I was like, I probably got to get it at like 2 to give myself $1,500 of runway. Thankfully, he's out on a plan on-op, so there's not going to be any penalties or fees on it.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah.
And the tags only expired in April, but he's like, yeah, I think that's fair. He's like, I was sticking pretty firm at $2,500, but like, I like the story. I like where this is going. So
nice.
$2,000, and it stays in the family, and it goes on the rally. So here we are.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So my tweaker was super cool to deal with, surprisingly. So when I talked to him,
the whole conversation,
he was kind of like all over the place a little bit, but he was like clearly living in his parents' house, which was a nice part of town where I went. So, yeah. So he was a really nice guy, and like no one happens upon like a V50 T5 all-wheel drive manual, right?
So he knew what he had. Quote unquote.
He knew what he had.
Cool.
And he just wanted to get rid of it. He knew he messed up with the seat, and it needed a little attention. I will tell you about some of the mods, my friend, in case you couldn't tell.
Yes.
In case you couldn't tell by the side profile, V50s, so any of the all-wheel drives, whether you get the S40 or V50, are a higher ride height, usually about like half inch. You could see how mine was kind of low. No cut springs. The all-wheel drives are super hard to get suspension components for. So he actually had the Eibach lowering kit specifically for that car. So that's huge. Now the wires hanging out of the 12-volt thing and going out the back passenger door underneath is an electric cutout for the exhaust. Post-cat. So it's totally legit. I have a keychain where I have 3 different settings of sound. And you get to hear
and it's wired through the cigarette lighter?
Through the cigarette lighter is the 12-volt source.
Like the back? Or like
the back
just
one.
Unplug it. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You could just unplug it. You could just
but for the rear.
Yeah. I'm going to drill a hole through the car and actually pass it through. It's out the passenger door now, the rear passenger door.
Just run it. There's got to be a body plug that you can pull or
potentially. I might just drill a hole in the floor and pass it through. But hey, it is what it is. So that's a mod, but you can get your inline 5 goodness, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love those.
So he did the water pump and time belt, which is the big thing on that motor, right? You got it. You got to do that job. So that's done recently. Brakes feel good. All original, never modified, except for the cutout, which I think it's fucking awesome, dude. And I think it's like in the spirit of the rally to have a partially cut out, because at like the first open level, it sounds really good. It's like very rumbly. If you've ever heard like an uncorked 5-cylinder, it has that kind of like a boxer rumble, but not like a little more high tuned than that. It's
what I've driven a C70 with a manual that had exhaust on it, not cutouts, but just had like, I don't even know what it was. Borla, some random exhaust on it, and it sounded pretty good. I'm into it.
It's cool. It's like an electric flapper system, so it kind of like can let percentages in. At wide open, the fucking car vibrates because it's right under the body of the car.
Dope.
Horrible. It's too much. It's way too much. So
Yeah.
at like setting one, it's cool, but it's all on a keychain. I love stupid stuff. So I'm excited about that. What else about the car? It's overall in good shape, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's the paint is good. It's Barents blue, which is a color I absolutely love. That dark
Yeah.
sapphire,
It's like a denim.
kind of Volvo blue. Yeah,
Mhm.
everything works too, which is shocking. Like AC,
Cool.
sunroof, all the good stuff. So I think it's a steal. I think I got it way below what those usually book for because they traffic for quite a bit of cash. The mileage is
Right.
a little scary to some, but time belt water pump car.
Yeah. The right. Yeah. That's I would make that trade off for like I don't know someone taking a weed whacker to the interior harness, but yeah. No. It's
The seat is the fun part. That's going to probably be the most challenging part of this operation. Is
so when you do the belt part, do you have to get a belt? Does it go into the B pillar?
Yep. So I had to buy the whole assembly like from an '05,
Right.
and I
The
got to pull the B
pretensioner
pillar
and
out. Yep,
everything.
take all that out, and then where it goes in, there's like a special attachment where it actually bolts to the seat. So it's all one big unit. You can't like separate the two, and that's what he did. And you can actually do it with like I think a 50 millimeter Allen. It's like a big Allen wrench. You can actually separate it, but you
Mhm.
know, fuck it. If you're cutting wires, just go for it all, dude. Go for the gusto,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
So, dude,
Don't
this
forget
guy.
to disconnect the battery cables, sir, when you make these repairs, so you don't get like a face full of side impact airbag or a pretensioner goes off in your dome.
Oh, dude, the way he like cut that sub wire though, that was all I needed to know. I'm like, yep, he still got it. He's still stabby.
Still got it, boys.
But no, it's cool. It's a bunch of wiring work. I'll have to work back. But no like gremlins or anything with the car. Like I said, these P1s are I love them. I have a lot of experience with them. And they're pretty stout cars. They don't really have a lot of weaknesses. So and the all-wheel drive super, it's still functional. Like I launched the piss out of it and it's quick, dude. It scoots
Yeah, hell yeah.
pretty good.
Hell yeah, brother. Clutch is good.
Clutch is really good. It was done. I don't have the record of that one, but you can tell it's very meaty. And plus, the all-wheel drive makes it life a lot easier on those. And that's an M66 trans, which is in the S60 V70, so it's already
Mhm.
overbuilt for that car. All
Sure.
the P1 cars that had the T5 motor got that transmission, which is
Hell yeah.
a super cool thing. But yeah, dude, I love these cars. It's a fast rally wagon. And
Mhm.
I bought some maintenance items, so I got to do. What are the big maintenance items? I got spark plugs. I
Yeah.
always like to do spark plugs. It has a little
Easy
bit
on
of a
those.
it has a rough idle,
Okay.
and it's engine mount. So they have a fluid filled huge
Mhm.
dampening motor mount to the
Yeah.
left, and it's like a $60 motor mount. It's fucking, but it goes, and you can see where all the fluid leaked out. It's like
Yeah.
clean cut case. So I have to replace that.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
That was pretty pricey, but yeah, I had to do it because it just feels horrible. It just
That's is the one on the passenger side or the driver's side?
Yep, passenger side up high.
I think that's a pretty easy one to do, if I
Mhm.
remember. It's right on top. It's like a dog bone.
Yeah, you move the overflow. It's kind of beefy. It bolts to the frame in like four places, but it's just very expensive. There's no way around it. Like even the cheapest one you find is like 50
Anchor or
bucks.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. And then just some standard other stuff. Like I said, the AC actually, I'm so surprised the AC goddamn works.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm gonna do so I spent some of my money on fluids, gonna do transmission, all
Cool.
that kind of stuff, engine oil and stuff. But I did buy some mods for it, Frank.
Oh, I have no mods from. I don't even have the car yet, but
Ooh.
yeah, I'm gonna do all the aforementioned stuff.
You'll have some cash
maybe
left after you do
brakes.
that.
I'll have
Yeah.
to do the valve cover's leaky. It's not like
Mm.
terminally leaky, but it's a good while I'm in there, sort of a thing.
Right.
But I don't think I'll have cash for mods. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll do like pretend it's like the Focus, like the Saline NO2 ones, and just put a 50 shot to it and see what happens. I don't know.
Do it.
Yeah, buy like a used to stay under budget. Buy like a deeply used, like 1990s kit.
You should. I mean, well, you gotta do a windshield. I didn't have to do that. That's a few.
That's probably
hundred.
like $300 to $400 right there.
Right, man. You might still have a little bit of
gonna be
change in the
tight.
piggy bank. Yeah,
It's gonna be tight.
same. I'm selling the all season tires that came on mine to recoup a little cash because they're like
okay.
He put new tires on like 1,000 miles ago, and they're Kumo Extas. They're
Sure,
just like
they're decent.
700 tread wear. They just will be horrible for a rally. But
Yeah.
anyone will want to buy them. They're 16-inch, Kumo Extas. So I'll be able to sell
16-inch
those.
cum hose. Yeah.
Yeah, $100 I'll probably get for those just used, right?
Mhm.
So That's a big thing. That's going to recoup a little cash. But the mods I bought, dude, it's in the sake, instead of doing more maintenance, it's in the sake of rallying to add more drama.
You
So
go like
there is
meaty sway bars. What are you doing?
so yes, let's do
White line.
my less serious mod first. So they don't have like a blow off valve. They have like a compressor bypass valve built
Sure.
into the turbo,
Yeah.
and it just fails. It's like got a shitty ass rubber diaphragm, and I can
Right.
feel the boost taper a little bit sometimes. So they say to replace those anyway. At 188, it definitely needs to be replaced. So I
Mhm.
got I went through the good sites like IPD and Evolve, which is
You're not
now
going to eBay.
Elevate.
What are you doing?
No, dude,
Like
I'm going to the real
XS
Volvo
power
people.
or
So I got
Yeah.
a real miniature compressor bypass valve that'll go in there and it'll make a little bit of noise at least. So I'll get a little psh when I shift. None of that action.
Oh,
So the
vent to
intake's still
atmosphere.
stock. Yeah.
danger
So
to manifold.
but it does increase the performance of the car because it will stop that from dropping off, which
Sure.
is a huge thing. They fail over time. It's like anything, like any kind of boost controller fails over time too. So that's going to shore that up, and then a super meaty elevate rear sway bar. And it's like that beautiful Polestar blue. It's
perfect.
it's absolutely beautiful. But
What do those
everybody
run?
says,
Couple $100.
yeah, that was like, so I called and I'm like, dude, I'm doing this cool rally. I want to rock your stuff. It's a V50 T5,
Mhm.
manual. And he's like, whoa, yeah, no. Let me hook you up. So the guy, like I was messaging the guy directly. Cause first I
Yeah.
was asking about getting a Mazda Speed 3 one in there. Cause apparently they plug and play. But
Oh,
it's
interesting.
like, it's this like black hole of misinformation. He's like, no, they don't actually certain, cause there are 3 different rear sway bar options for my model, which is
Right.
fucking insane. So he's like, here's the deal, man. He's like, if you get the end links too, we'll go ahead and give you a hell of a deal. I'm like, let's do it. So end links and
Bitchin'.
sway bar coming in, and apparently that makes the car just so much more playful.
Well, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So that's
Does this count as our first sponsor?
I wish. I
Yeah,
wish.
right.
But no, the sway bar is really going to help out, and then a little bit of blow off noise won't hurt, and then of course the fucking straight piped exhaust if I want to. It's kind of fun. And then I'm doing a couple cosmetic things too, so we'll save that for the rally probably.
Can you when you have it go like full cutoff,
Mm-hmm.
it just vents directly under the car. I
It's
wonder if you can
fucking
like,
horrible.
what if you just like kind of as a mostly for the lulls, can you just like
side exit?
yeah, just like side like a Laguna pipe, but like mid exit.
It's
out the
it's
driver's-
tricky because
Or
there's a lot of action.
hook it up
right?
to like a hook it up to like a trumpet from the Goodwill, like a $20 trumpet from the Goodwill.
Dude, it's so violent. Like idle, it's just like just like that constant in a highway. You don't know drone until you know a straight pipe with a cutout right under your seat.
Yeah.
So it's like it's rough. But dude, I'm telling you, at like the partial open, it sounds so good. Like it's gonna bring the drama I wanted it to, because they're pretty sedate cars.
They are.
Like,
Yeah, they were
yours-
never made for
Yours is spicy, like the SVT is spicy, but mine just opening the exhaust, the blow off, little bit of blow off noise, and then of
the
course
iBox too.
yeah, the iBox help a ton
That's a big
too.
deal.
Rear sway bar, so it's gonna be a pretty good rally car. I think
Yeah,
should do well.
We're gonna find out.
And we don't have a choice.
That's the fun part. Yeah. We don't have a choice. Very cool. Yes. And that's the tricky part. Like yours at the end of the day, I think you could sell it and get all your money back, maybe more.
For sure. Yeah. If that thing, that should
I don't think
go more
I
than
can.
35.
I don't think I'll be able to with mine because of the paint.
Yeah, but your mileage is low. You have an interesting color. If you get a decent respray,
I should get my money back.
Yeah, but if you do a decent respray, you could probably come up a little bit on that car if you fix all the little issues.
I don't know. What's a respray go to? $3,500?
Is it
for my
your
cheap,
boy?
for my boy? Yeah, it'd be $3,500, and like I'll be in this car $3,500. I can't sell that for $7,000.
No, that's a good point.
So my hope is like I'll be in at 35, and I can at the end of the rally sell it for 35. Right? Somebody who just wants to have a toy,
Yeah, if you address the
or
issues,
sell it
I
to a
guarantee
high
you
school
can,
kid by my house.
Yeah,
What
you can
a
make
dope first car.
Yeah, insane first car. But I think if you fix everything up, clean it up a little bit, like take care of all the little issues with it, I think it's worth more than 35, because you'll get it past smog, you'll fix the O2 thing, the check engine light and everything. I think that adds quite a bit of value, to tell you the truth. And it's a cool color, probably the coolest color on one of those.
Yeah, I'd say so. There were some good colors. It was that, or what's interesting is
Ford Racing Blue. That's a pretty good blue, though.
Ford Racing Blue. You had the, I don't remember, Screamin' Yellow or whatever the bright yellow was
Right.
called.
That's right. Yeah.
It's something
No,
like that.
I stand by orange. I think that orange is dope
You
as
know, I'm a
fuck.
sucker for orange.
Yep.
But mine is faded almost into like that, like vitamin C on the Prius C's. Like
So,
that
yeah,
really
like
light.
salmon
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah. It's very salmony.
It still looks dope as fuck, dude. Like two fucking cool cars, though.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, two
like
cool cars.
cooler than they should, right?
Yeah.
Our friends at the DWA podcast are probably going to be saddened that I am not bringing something like a Chevy SSR or a PT Cruiser turbo convertible manual yet. We'll see. We have time, but yeah, I think these will be fun. They should be reliable. Knock on wood.
More importantly, capable. Both of these
And
cars
capable,
have some
yeah.
chops, right?
Sticky tires on both of these with yours with the suspension, because
Mhm.
yours, like, you would have had to like put R compounds on there or something, and then it would have been it actually would have probably been a lot like when we took the Galant, where the tires were up for the task, but the rest of the suspension was just
Sure.
too
Yeah.
soft and too worn. You know, is it the original struts in that thing?
They were swapped out. It's probably to the same spec as swap,
Sure.
but it pairs with the iBox pretty good. So it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a little rougher than stock. What always right when you add lowering springs, but yeah, no drama at all. And like it's a pretty like solid straight car, so it handles pretty flat. But that rear sway bar. Oh, and forgot my favorite secret mod that's still coming from overseas.
Fentanyl in the glove box.
That's already there. Clearly, the guy had a stash. I ordered, so it came on only the diesel, like V50s. Is this extra thick strut tower bar, this 25 millimeter bar that's made by Volvo, and it came on like the diesels in Europe. So it's coming from England, and apparently everybody like murders each other to get this thing. And I got it for like half off because the auction, the guy had it listed wrong on the auction, and I checked the number, and I'm like, dude, can I get this for this amount? Because it was like make an offer. And the dude was like, you can come up like $10. And I'm like, deal, with all the mounting hardware, because it has specialized mounting hardware.
Cool.
Dude, it's gonna have this special bespoke like Volvo like strut tower bar so that it tightens up the front. And then it just increases the bite in, because having that up high is important. And then the rear sway bar, this thing's going to handle like as neutral as you can get like an all-wheel drive Volvo product.
Because what do those weigh? Like 3,500 pounds?
I want to say like 33 most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they're pretty dense, those Volvos.
Very dense. And it's like 218 horsepower, 236 foot-pounds of torque. So numbers are very healthy.
Until you go full dump on your exhaust via keychain.
What's the
and
muffler
then it does
do?
wheelies.
Saves 5 horsepower, if that. But no, it's not a slow car, dude. That thing off like a dig is fucking quick. The Haldex is cool because you can launch the piss out of it like a front wheel drive, and it'll kick to the wheels before you notice. So it does this like really cool. You can feel it shift the power back, but it's like, fuck, dude. I forgot how good it is to launch an all-wheel drive.
It uses maths.
Yeah, dude. It's you'll see. It's fucking proper quick off the line.
Cool. Well, this will be exciting. Woo. This will be interesting. Yeah, it's
What is yours? Yours is probably 2,700 pounds, 2,750.
I think they're a little more.
You think so?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe 20, maybe 28. It's a 5-door.
Oh, that's true.
And so it's not.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so only, and I looked this up after I bought it, because I was just like, I wanted to find a picture of an orange 5-door with the 5 spokes, because I like the iconic SVT 5 spokes, but mine has the 15 spokes, which are very cool. They're like a graphite color.
Okay.
With like red SVT written in the little center cap.
Super cool.
And those are cool too. I like the wheels, but I was like, I couldn't find, so I looked it up. So 2 things that I found: all of the competition orange cars, if you got the competition orange or the Trump dossier yellow.
Oh yeah.
The
Euro appearance or whatever.
The urine appearance. Yeah. They all came, both those colors, they all came factory with the European appearance package.
Okay.
You couldn't get it without it. So those 2 colors specifically. So every single, and part of that package is the 15 spoke, not the 5 spoke. So unless someone swapped the wheels over, you're not going to find a 5 spoke in the orange. And then I looked up how many five doors in '04
Oh man,
came in
he's
I'm
becoming a
going
Corvette
Corvette. I'm
owner.
going
He's doing
Corvette.
it. He's
I'm
doing
doing
it,
it.
guys.
How many do you think they made in Competition Orange in '04?
Like a buck 50.
81.
Hmm.
Pretty rare little
Pretty
sunburnt
rare.
gem that I've got.
Ooh.
Now remember, kids, scarcity does not beget value. Okay.
No,
This
but
doesn't mean
it is befitting of how we choose our cars, though. We pick pretty rare stuff. I don't know what the amount of V50 T5 all-wheel drive manuals in Barent's
Volvo
blue.
probably doesn't know. Yeah.
They probably don't know. It's
For like
very
six.
small. It's very
Yeah.
small. Not many of those cars were manual with the all-wheel
No.
drive, like very low percentage. But
Yeah.
yours is exceptionally low. That's such a. I love that color so much, dude. These cars we're gonna have to do a little photo shoot, dude, on the rally
Yeah.
because these are
Oh, for sure.
sick. These are actually like, dude. Not only do we pick like cars that were capable and
Hmm.
weird, they actually seem like they belong on a rally. They kind of
Yeah. Oh,
do.
they for sure do. Like
Yeah.
um, yeah, like they both very much belong on a rally. Like that's
Ooh.
kind of what these cars are for.
Yeah.
And they'll have fresh tires and maybe mucho machos, maybe linglongs, maybe land wins. I don't know if I'm gonna have that much
Mm.
money left in the account. Um, but yeah, like it'll be fun. They'll be tossable. We can just kind of beat them up, and I think they'll take well to it. I don't knock
Yeah.
on wood. I don't anticipate any DNFs in our future here.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about
Yep,
anything
yep, yep.
with mine. Everything seems pretty good. No leaks, no weird burning smells, the kind of shit I usually get for $2,000 cars. So, I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna finish the race potentially. The rally.
Should we play a different kind of game, my friend?
Oh, of course.
Okay, and like that, we are seamlessly transitioning. Oh,
Not when you narrate it. It just there's the
no,
seamlessness gone.
seamlessly, my friend, seamlessly, perfect. And with that perfection will come my performance in the print ad quiz game. Chadwick,
Mm.
you pull up the particular print advertisement while I tell the good people at home, boop boop beep beep beep, what we are
Yeah.
doing. For those uninitiated, our print ad quiz game works as follows. Chadwick today is going to find a print advertisement from the 80s and 90s until the mid 2000s. And he's going to read the type copy from this ad. It will then be my responsibility and duty to try and figure out what make, model, and approximate model year of vehicle we are talking about. I get up to 3 guesses. I get up to 10 minutes. And that's kind of how this works. Please play along at home. It's a bunch of fun. And let's see if I step on my own dick here. Chadwick, I'm pretending like I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm all the way ready to read. So prepare yourself,
Fire
friend.
will.
So we have a 2-page spread. Stop me if this sounds familiar. 2-page spread. We have a vehicle in the lower left quadrant, 3/4 passenger side, dramatic, looks gorgeous, just the right amount of light reflecting off the side. The main picture, if you will, is a cutaway of the interior. It shows a woman with helmet hair. I would assume there's a
Perfect.
lot of Aquanet in there, guys, and there's a child in the back seat, presumably not abducted. We're gonna go with the cleaner take on this one, friends.
I'm not. Definitely
Myself
abducted.
emotionally
Human
for this one.
trafficking.
So full-time van, part-time babysitter. So we're talking about a van here. It's going to become pretty clear, but capability has a kinder, safer, gentler side. We call blank the king of capability. This is not a qualified statement, obviously. It can haul 6 kids to school in the morning and turn around and tow a 2-ton boat to the lake at night. But
Damn,
it's also
Daniel.
capable of providing for the comfort and safety of its occupants, big or small, on a full-time basis. Time for some night boat activity, clearly. New
Ooh.
this year are optional integrated child safety seats that actually incorporate a 5-point belt system. It's kind of neat.
Okay.
There's a driver airbag to supplement lap and shoulder restraints. Every outer seat has a 3-point safety belt, rear anti-lock brakes, also comes standard. And you can even have your blank equipped with available blah, blah, blah. These are kind of special names. Full-time all-wheel drive. So it is selectable.
Wow. Okay.
What more is it gets really fuzzy. This is an old ad. I can't even make it's just like such a blur. The scan is horrible. So what more
Pick
I
any
don't even
word.
know. Yes. I can't read it. It's not even the name of the vehicle. I just can't read the wording. Something, something, something offers you a host of amenities and an uncommonly
Hmm.
comfortable interior with available leather seating surfaces and a wide range of seating arrangements, which is
Ah,
kind of
okay.
cool for up to 7 passengers. Blank from blank, designed for your comfort and peace of mind. Frank, 10
Ooh,
minutes? What are we talking about?
boy. So fill me. Make sure I'm not hallucinating here. Did
Oh,
did this involve the word van,
it
or did
did right at the beginning.
Okay, okay,
Full-time
that's what I thought.
van. Yep.
Full time van. Okay, just making sure that I wasn't mis picturing the kidnapping situation that was happening.
That's real.
Full time van. I think it said what, a 2 ton boat or collection of corpses.
It did
So a
say
4,000.
a boat full of mermaid corpses, I think was the
Yes,
exact
yes. Yeah.
language.
Who's siren songing who? Um.
Get in my boat.
The okay. So if
Mm,
we're saying a 4,000 pound tow capacity, this makes me think it can't be your typical minivan, right? This isn't
mm.
an Isuzu Oasis.
God
It's
damn it.
no Sienna.
Hmm.
Although the second gens tow 3,500 pounds,
Mm.
which is famously not 2 tons. So this makes me think it's either something like a Safari, although we've done a Safari, I think. Could be a Chevy Astro, could be a Ford Windstar, because those were rear drive. They shared a lot of uh, Ranger DNA.
Mm.
I don't know if I'd want to pull 4,000 pounds with an Astro van, but that's a thing.
That's why they do it at night. It's
Or right,
less able
night
to be seen.
night boating. Um, Plus it's prime human trafficking hour. The the other possibility is,
Mm.
is it just like a shorty Ram van, like a Dodgy Von? Uh, you know, you'd have like a Ram 150. You could Ram van. You can go basic like Econoline Club Wagon. Um, I'm gonna stay away from the full size vans, even the smaller version of the full size vans for now. I think we might be entering the age of Aerostar here. It very much reads like a an American ad.
Is that a well-defined period of time? The
Um,
age of Aerostar, I think he said.
yes, it is. The Age of Aerostar is also one of my very favoriteest beers from Alvarado Street Brewing in Monterey, and it has the Aerostar driving on the moon, which is fabulous. So I'm gonna say this is a 1990 Ford Aerostar. Final answer, Bob.
This man knows his vans. We call Aerostar the king of capability.
There we
I don't know.
go.
We is the
Luxury,
Ford
the leather, so you can get
the,
Eddie Bauer.
the Ford marketing department said we call it the king of capability. So yeah,
Yeah.
you
Other
are
people
correct.
don't.
And the way you could move the seats around was pretty kind of novel at the time, if you
Yeah.
will.
Mhm.
And then the it is a pretty cool picture, dude. It has like some Navajo like print on the you'll see it.
On
Let me
the
send you
like
the
on the
picture.
back on the seat
On
backs.
the seats, yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
the
so that's on the Eddie Bauer. That's on the Eddie Bauer trim.
yeah, and you can
You
tell by
get
the
that.
green and two tone as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, she's
Yes.
cool. Yep, Ford Aerostar. It does not have the year, but I think you're ballpark right. I think that's when that van came out. Was it 89 or 90? I can't.
I want to say it came out in '89. I
But
don't
the
know if
Eddie
it
Bauer might
launched
be a
with an
90.
airbag.
Yeah.
Um, driver's airbag. That kind of nails down the era too, right? When you're talking
Hmm.
only the driver's airbag,
Exactly.
you're not going to be really much later than. I'm trying to think like the latest car that didn't come with a passenger airbag, probably like '97,
A
somewhere around
Chevy
there.
Aveo or something. That's kidding.
Yeah, right.
Like 2008.
You know what? I bet you it came
Mm.
with OBD. I bet you when OBD2 was mandated '96, I bet you that's when you had to have
Yeah, that makes
had to have
sense.
passenger airbags.
Dude, good
There we
good
go.
job. These are pretty solid vans. If you need to do that van thing, I think these are
Mhm.
cool. Um, what was the other one? You said the Windstar, which was the smaller version of the Aerostar.
Yeah, the Windstar came later. It replaced the Aerostar, and it was much more traditional front wheel drive unibody.
Yep.
Which these were unibody too, but it was more. At least I think they were. I don't think those were ladder frame. They might have been ladder frame.
They might have been,
because I know they share a lot of the axle is pulled straight out of a Ranger. Engine, transmission are largely Ranger based. So
and you can get all wheel drive on these bad boys, which was kind of
cool. Yeah, what they call it on this one? Shit, I know you blanked it out in the ad.
Yes.
It's not Select Track because that's Jeep. Same with Quad Track.
Well, they call it electronic full time 4-wheel drive.
Oh, okay. But I can picture the badge on the fender. It's a square badge, and it says really tiny electronic. Yeah,
full time,
and then all wheel drive. Yep, 4-wheel drive, real big. Yeah. Very cool.
Good job, man.
There you go. Stand by your van. Outside of, I mean, we kind of the whole episode was sort of Project Car Progress. Do you have anything else you've been tinkering with real quick before we?
Yeah, I did a little bit of work under the tracker hood. I got the timing belt water pump all perfect.
Nice.
Like I said, when I get the belt on there, like I go over everything at least 20 times before I hand crank the motor, because you can still fuck up. And then once you get the engine out of time, you get
the breaker bar on the crank, start jumping on it. It's like, why isn't it going?
Start from square one, right? And the compression's awesome. You can hear the air coming out past the spark plugs, and always a good sign. But yeah, got that perfect. The tensioner installed correctly. You also, like, people can fuck up on tensioners, right? Or you put a bad tensioner in. I've seen people go awry that way. And that's a real pain in the dick, right? When you're like, I'm going to swap out this tensioner. I got this $2 no name one. I'm going to put that in over the OEM. That's got to be worn out. And then it's not actually tensioning the belt, and you get all kinds of belt slap and stuff. 8 valves are non-interference, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, I turned it, of course, like 20 times to make sure everything was good.
Super paranoid about that.
Stayed in time. Perfect setup. Super easy. So now it's time to button up, do like valve cover gasket, spark plugs, all that stuff.
Cool.
Man, this truck is fun to work on, man. I love this period of automobile where it's like accessible. Plus, it's a longitudinal engine, so you can get to everything.
Yeah, ton of room.
It's right. These are the vehicles, if you put a little time in, can run forever because it's easy. And parts are cheap.
And available.
Accessible. And you don't have to break. You don't have specialty tools to do shit on this motor. So super fun. That's what I've been up to. Haven't had a lot of time, but yeah, that's a big step forward. That's always the big time. I take my time with timing belts, as you should.
Hey,
hey now. So and then that's pretty much what I've been up to. Anything outside of fucking buying a rally car?
Yes. Barracuda watch is on.
Oh man.
So I got a text message from my guy Glenn, who's been slowly and by design slowly working on the Barracuda, and he's like, "Hey," he sent me a picture of the car, and
come get it,
and looking good, almost. But he's just like, "Hey, like there's because it had the incorrect mirrors on it, and so they had them off the car when he painted the car." And so we went with the correct mirror, which is only a driver's side mirror, no passenger.
Oh, wow.
It had two random mirrors on it. So we scrapped those. We welded up the passenger door where the incorrect mirror was. And I ordered a used factory. It's a remote mirror. It's got a little joystick, which was an option on that here. But it didn't come with the gasket. So it's like, I got to find a gasket for that. And then there's a grommet for a window regulator on the passenger side. And we need a bunch of little, a list of like a dozen really ticky-tack things, right? Like, what the rear drafter for the trunk is missing and little things like that. So I stopped by. I had some parts I needed to drop them off. I dropped those off. I got to see the car in person.
Nice.
It looks really good. Like, it's really going to come together really nice, I think. You're
gonna rally that thing, right?
Yeah, that will happen at one point.
Nice.
So yeah, that would be very, very exciting. To bring that girl home.
Dope, dude.
So yes, I will have 2 very different things sitting around the house, which will be a Project Ford Focus SVT, and then a 65 Barracuda.
Ooh.
Yeah, so exciting times around here,
dude. I'm like literally still so impressed with the cars we picked up, dude. We picked up
for
the price
winners.
point. I thought we were gonna have to limp whatever we could, Nothing like with sense of occasion, nothing with like a chop of performance, not even a sprinkle, not even a crop dust of
Well,
performance,
that was
if you
going to be
will.
the thing, right? Like and I even texted Lane. I'm like, hey man, like, uh, if I got something that's like deeply borderline, should I run it past you? Like, if I have just like a regular ass Focus,
Hmm.
like it probably doesn't smell Cajun enough to qualify, right? And I'd hate to do all this stuff and then go to apply and be like, bro, you can't bring that.
Right.
Yeah, like just a regular Ultima or something.
Sure.
So, but we definitely got two cars that fit the bill, and yeah, and they're like third cousins thrice removed.
Right.
As far
How
as their
befitting.
DNA, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me tell you, there were some dogs out there.
Oh, dude,
There are some really bad things.
but there were like surprisingly more interesting options than I thought originally when we set off on this
same here.
on this
I was like, this is going to be
adventure.
unattainable, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, actually,
There's some
good shit here.
cool shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we do it in the future, we should have different parameters like as like themes. We can make a thematic challenge, if you will, which will make it more difficult.
Only orange.
Yeah.
Or what have you. Yeah. I will say, and I still have a potential to bring it home should I decide I want to. I sent you a couple of photos of car donation they got in a 2000 Suzuki Vitara,
Mm.
2-wheel drive manual,
Yep.
blue metallic with a white top. It's
That
got
was
like
the one that replaced the Sidekick, just like the Chevy Tracker replacing the Geo Tracker,
Correct.
the second gen, if you will.
Yes. And it's still there. They're still sorting out smog stuff. And I was just like,
Okay.
I thought about it like, God, if I can get that for like $2,000, because it's AC delete, manual
wow.
windows. It's a pretty stripper model.
Okay.
And so it's probably not worth a ton, right? People want the 4-wheel drive one. The 2-wheel drives are you can get. And I was just like, dude, if I pick that thing up and it's mechanically pretty stout and I just like lower it and put it on some good wheels and tires, it would be slow, but it could be kind of fun.
You know
right?
what's
like
you
send
say
one
that
of those
though,
on a rally.
it's the originality I'm finding is where the value is coming in those things because there's actually more 4x4 ones than 2-wheel drive, but
Interesting.
a lot of these have been hacked. They're on like lift kits and things, and people are looking for that like small compact vehicle, like a stock one. And I'm finding that the original ones are fetching more cash, whether it be 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, versus the heavy modded ones. The heavy modded ones aren't pulling too much cash.
No, for
the
sure.
Ones,
I think
ones
that's
with
kind of
the beat panels and gutted interiors are not doing as well as like
they're not worth anything.
Yeah, and that one you sent me was pretty fucking clean, man. Like
it's pretty clean.
It's a pretty clean one.
It's got 111,000 miles. It won't set the cat monitor, so it might be a little bit of a problem child, which I'm might be okay with because maybe I can get it for a song if they give up on it.
That's because that is an OBD2.
Yeah, it's a 2000, so it's got to set monitors. So, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, 2000 doesn't have to go on the rolling road. 96 to 99 does, and pass the monitor setting.
Yep, that's right.
OBD. So, I don't know. That I think that could be fun too if it's got some problems and they decide to punt on it, and I can limp that thing home too. And I was looking. You start looking, and I do think you're right. I think the original ones, but especially on those like first generation boxier ones, because this is the roundier ones. They're not. They don't have nearly the following. But I did see some pretty dope lowered ones. It kind of was like, ooh, I'm not lowered car guy, but like
with the right wheels,
this thing lowered with some like good wheels, right? Maybe some like 17-inch Steelies off of like a police package, like Crown Vic or something like that. Paint them argent, and
of course you would.
Something like that, and then put some like really sticky rubber on it, like with some like lowering springs. That could be
fun. Yeah,
it could be fun.
It's all about getting in for that price point too. You get it that low because they are like clean original ones. Really are getting a little bit of cash now for what they are.
Yep.
Dope.
Anywho,
Shut it down.
Thank you for I don't have a good segue, but thank you for checking us out, putting up with us per usual. Stay tuned for more update on Rally Runner Gate.
Yeah,
I don't. Why not? And
hey,
if you want to follow us,
let us know, man. Let us know how you guys feel about.
Yes, I would like
vehicles.
to know after the big unveil.
Yeah,
like what what actually people are thinking.
Are we gonna do like a Team Edward thing? Like we're gonna Team Chadwick, Team Frank. Who?
Oh yeah, which one's the vampire and which one's the werewolf? I don't know.
Who knows anymore? I've never watched the movies. I'll tell you the truth. I've never even seen them. So,
and despite popular belief, we've somehow avoided seeing each other's complete naked bodies. So I don't know which one of us is actually hairier.
That's not true.
Choice.
You're a very heavy sleeper, and I'm very sneaky.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, and thank you for conducting that test for me. I didn't even have to cough. But if you would like to not ever see any of that, actually check out our Instagram page, because we're really bad at posting things, let alone nudes. But that's also a great way to get a hold of us. So on the off chance we do post something, or you want to send us, we have gotten some very salty photos and some very lovely notes from fans and listeners. So we encourage that sort of thing. At least maybe not the pics, but the notes are great. You can review us on all the places that you review podcasts. You can follow myself on the gram, the photographer's garage. Not young Chadwick. Where can people stalk you?
Yeah, so Auto Obscure Garage on YouTube for all your rescues, reviews, and what's the other thing I do? Restorations, which should involve a particular $3,500 rally car shortly.
Buddy.
Also, check us out on YouTube for the podcast too, right? Like, I'll try to throw some pictures of our cars up there so you guys don't see us describing what we bought. Or
yes,
you can actually see them.
Yes, no, this is all true. It's all good. And thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, friends.
Take care. Peace. We love you.
Ta-ta.